Well, I was working at the Totally Awesome Fishing Show, guys. I'm down here at Gospel Marina. I'm going to go aboard a brand spanking new boat. It could be the ultimate fishing boat. We're going to find out. We're going to go some boat tests with it out on the sea today. And you never know, we might even get a rod in the water. We've got Gary, the builder, the owner, a couple of guys on there helping me catch some fish. I need all the help I can get. And here you can see in the marina, there is no shortage of boats. Let's get down there, boys. Bit of fog about, but I think we're going to give it a good go and see what this boat's up to. So Gary, I know we filmed your, what was that size of that first one we filmed?
21'6".
21 foot. This is a different animal. What's this one?
It's 27.5 foot by 12.5 foot. Similar design to the smaller one, just with a few improvements on it. And
it's got the what's that hole? The wave splitter in the front.
It's got
Did your other one have that?
No, the other one just had a flat tunnel top.
Is that a standard thing to put with the sort of cat design?
A lot of the bigger ones have it. It's to break the water up as it comes underneath.
Yeah.
But it's also, it adds strength through the centre of the tunnel.
Yes,
to stiffen it up as well.
Okay. Beam wise on this?
It's 12'4".
12'4",
overall.
yeah. And engines, what do you got on the back here?
Twin Mercury 350 Verados, supercharged. So that's 700 horsepower total.
And you get what sort of speed out of that on a flat sea?
Flat sea, you'll get about 47.5 knots flat out.
Yeah.
Cruising, probably 30, 32 knots. So, but 20, 25 knots, really economical.
And we were talking on the way out here about the size of engines with boats. You're saying put as bigger engine as you can, your boat will take. Explain that to the people.
If you've got a boat which is 20 foot long, for instance, is rated to 150 horsepower,
yeah,
put 150 horsepower on it. Don't go and put a 60 or 70 on it,
yeah,
because you think it's going to be more economical. It won't be. So you put the bigger engine on that you can. So at half throttle, you're doing, say, 25 knots.
Yeah.
If you put a 60 horsepower engine on it, to do 25 knots, you're going flat out using...
Burning fuel, yeah.
Yeah, burning loads of fuel, putting more stress on the engine.
Yes.
So obviously it won't last as long. Whereas with the bigger engine, half throttle, it's just basically ticking over.
Yeah.
So it's sipping the petrol, more economical, and obviously you've got that extra bit of speed if you need it.
If you need it there, yeah. And the tanks in here, what are the twin tanks? They're both twin units separated, aren't they?
Both two tanks, 270 litres each side. And they're independent of each other, so you fill one tank up, fill the other tank up.
Yeah.
If you run one tank on both engines, you get a bit of crap in the fuel, it gets into both engines.
Yes.
So you run two tanks. If you've got a problem, you can shut one down and get home on one engine.
You can still come home. You can still come home as a safety factor.
If you've got one tank, two engines, you're going to have problems with both engines.
Yes,
Then you're stuffed.
So, run us through the electronics, what you've got on here.
It's full Raymarine 12-inch plotters.
Yeah.
I'm not that clued up on the electronics myself personally, but you've got a master unit. They're all wired together, so they all talk to each other. You've got 4G quantum radar up on the roof.
Yeah.
You've got 3D sonar, down vision, side vision.
Fish vision. We need fish vision.
Oh, there's no such thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They all lie, the fish finders. We've got an anchor windlass on the front just to pull the anchor up, do most of the work for you, or you can use the ordinary buoy as a backup.
Yes.
If the winch fails, you know you're still going to get it up. You don't want to pull it up by hand.
And what weight anchor and chain for boat this size?
I think it's 10 kilo or 12.5 kilo plough delta anchor.
Yeah.
With 40 foot of 8 mil chain.
40 foot, yeah.
Yeah, and there's about 220 metres of 12 mil rope.
Gotcha, yeah.
So you always go 4 or 5 times the depth.
And no problem with rod holders. I've noticed that.
Oh, no, we've got one or two.
Yeah.
I think there's about 12 on the handrails and 11 across the roof at the moment. But the roof ones are just for storage.
Yes.
Just
Keep the deck clear.
Yeah, keep the deck clear. People say, oh, they're going to fall out of there. You take them out when you're motoring.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't like rods in rod holders when you're motoring anyway. So
Yeah.
unless they're perfectly upright.
And this boat, for me, when we had a good run out here, it jumped out the hole really, really fast to me. It seemed really powerful.
The boat weighs 4 tonne and it's got 700 horsepower. So the power to weight ratio, what does it work out at? It's about 180 horsepower per tonne. So that's more than most modern cars.
Really?
So,
that much?
And they've got so much torque, you only got to touch the throttle and
It's a way, I noticed that, yeah.
it wants to fly.
It was a question of you better hold on, wasn't it?
No, if you don't hold on, you're over the back.
Yeah.
You're going for a swim.
And you got, what do they call that board at the back? Like I call it, like a running board with the engines are clamped to.
It's an outboard pod. There's two
Outboard
separate
pod,
pods
that's it.
which the outboards sit on.
Yeah.
And you've got a full width, basically. It's like a dive platform on top.
Yeah.
And then obviously the engines are mounted to that. But the handrails also extend down onto the platform to give that extra bit of security. To hold
Safety,
on.
yeah. And you got a nice, like a fish door, walk-in door at the back, which is pretty neat.
You got to have a side door on the biggest sort of boat nowadays because nobody likes jumping over the rails all the time to get on and off a boat. The hull is built up, obviously full fiberglass, 15-ounce layup all over, double overlaps on any chine, keel. The decks all need a blast, fiberglass both sides, so there's no plywood in the decks. The only plywood on the boat is in a transom.
Needleplast is what? Explain it so people have never heard of it before. What sort of material would you describe it as?
It's a honeycomb plastic with what I call like a net cutter material on either side, which the resin soaks into. Then you put your mat on, you put more resin on, and you put about 3 or 4 layers on either side. Then it becomes a rigid panel.
So it's lightweight, is
It's
it?
very light. It's about a third of the weight of a sheet of ply when it's glassed up.
Oh, really?
So you imagine the sheet of ply is 30 kilos for 18mm ply. Sheet of needleplast is going to be about 10 to 12 kilos.
So as you were saying earlier, small boats don't tend to be built. They still have to have the ply for weight, you were saying.
Yeah, a lot of the small boats, especially things like the Wilson Flyers, the Warriors,
they
need that bit of weight in the bottom of the boat to help it sit in the water.
Stabilise, I suppose.
If you put needleplast deck on a tiny boat, it becomes too light and then it bobs about and rolls about all over the show. So they need that extra little bit of weight, but obviously the bigger the boat, the heavier the boat is anyway. So the needleplast will also act as a bit of buoyancy because it's full of air.
Oh, I see. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it is good stuff. It's not expensive. That's what people think. You can get it for about, if you go 15 mils, about £27 a sheet. 25 mils, about £35 a sheet. And then obviously you've got to glass it up both sides. So it works out probably 70 to £80 a sheet by the time it's glassed.
Yes.
But it's still cheaper than decent marine ply.
Is it really? Yeah.
And decent marine ply is getting harder to get hold of because it's all coming in from China.
Yeah. Is it a difference in the quality between their ply, foreign ply and traditional stuff, do you think?
The stuff from China is just cheaply made.
Yeah.
It's poor. It's full of air pockets inside it as well where they laminate the bits of timber together.
Yeah,
the glues are not very good.
Yeah.
So you need to use a decent waterproof
marine,
glue.
yeah. Oh, the glued for the ply, yeah.
Each laminate that goes on is glued, it's waterproof glue, so each one is sealed from each other.
Yeah.
But it's getting harder to get hold of decent ply. We've got a 240 volt oven which runs off an inverter which is up inside the dashboard which runs off 12 volts. So we can heat up our pies with bacon sandwiches, etc. And then we've got a sink. And there's a water container underneath, that's all that runs off electric, so you just turn it on and you've got fresh water to wash your hands, make a cup of tea. Also a little gas burner.
Oh, secondary cooker there, yeah.
Yeah, you can use it for, again, bacon, eggs, or just use it to warm the cabin up slightly if it's really cold.
Yeah.
So that works a treat.
This is customised, this? Yeah, you built this, yeah?
This is all just made from needleplast. Same material as the decks.
But you've designed it for this boat, yeah?
Yeah, you make it as you go along, basically. See how much space you've got. If you didn't have a toilet compartment, you'd have loads more room. You could have more seating in here. We've also got hot water, so you can just turn it on in about 10-15 minutes. You've got boiling hot water to make a cup of tea, or any sort of hot drinks, soups, pot noodles, etc.
Luxury eating then.
Oh yes. So up front, inside the dash, we've got a 180 amp hour house battery. which runs all the house electronics, but also runs the inverter to the cooker, to the hot water and to the tap and the sink. And then we've got 2 batteries down the back of the boat which run the engine, so they're all independent of each other, but the engine batteries charge the house battery as and when it needs it, when the engine's running. So you can run your house electrics all day long. You can run it completely flat if you wanted to, but the engines will still start. But once they've started and charged their own batteries, they prioritise their batteries first. Then once they're fully charged, they switch over on a special switch, and then they will charge your house one.
Good system, yeah.
Until it's fully charged. Inside.
Now then, the mic dropped out the lead on my inside camera here, so I couldn't get it all, but just look at the maze of electronics, cables. Oh my God, all the wiring looms are on the inside of this boat, together with this giant house battery they got in there. And it's all linked together. And yes, that does something, but I can't remember what. Doubtless you can check it all out. And the PG tips, don't forget the PG tips. I just saw them come into the bottom view there. That is, as all fishermen know, the most important part, making a cup of tea. I'll tell you what this thing can do. Huge speeds, and also make the cup of tea. Got some great glass on the front. Look at the inside of the cabin, how big it is for a boat like an A40 that size. It's not a monstrous boat. It's got all the luxury skipper's chairs, nice sprung one. It's all right for him. What about us? Honestly, you don't get slammed around in it. It is a very fast boat. It comes out the hole, straight out the trap as we call it, pretty fast. Just check out the speeds here.
Hold on! I'll film through here if I can. Yeah.
One shot there. Well, there you go. You got something of an exclusive, but what about this? Here is my kind of fishing boat. Look at the width across there. I could put 150 fishing rods across the back. Probably wouldn't be able to pull the anchor up though, boys. But look at the size of that machine. Anyway, thanks for watching. You got a look at an exclusive look, a totally awesome look at the Garfish 840. Check it out. It's a pretty cool fishing machine.